It is I, the Oracle, the one who foresaw the fall of Hytale. I made a video named Is Hytale in Danger? Just days before the game was canned like wet dog food. This is no coincidence. I am the Lisan al-Gaib.
Okay, you guys have been absolutely cracking me up with these comments. And I do have to apologize. My voice sounds terrible because I got a little something going on. A little bit under the weather. Maybe this Hytale news literally hit me so hard that it made me sick. So it is what it is. But we don't back down. We lock in. All right, we got videos to make. Let's do this, bro. Anyway, y'all have been cracking me up with these comments. All right, like y'all started asking me for lottery numbers, release dates, careers, and even nuclear warfare. Do you actually think that I can see the future? Because I can.
Lisan al-Gaib.
But I didn't get everything right. I know. Even the Oracle gets it wrong sometimes, okay? But what did I get wrong? Saying the game was going to be great? Nah, that's true. That's true. Saying Hypixel was passionate about the game? No, I still think they are. I will show you firsthand where I was wrong. Listen to this clip of my previous video. I don't blame Hypixel. I just want to get that out right now. Listen, I think the decision to rebuild the game with the new engine was the right choice. I think long term, it's going to set it up for success, and that's what we want, right? It's going to be an even better game than we expected and hoped for.
They ask you how you are, you just have to say that you're fine when you're not really fine, but you just can't get into it because they would never understand.
Wow, that aged like milk. Dude, I could not disagree more with past big dude right here. And thanks to some ex-devs speaking out, I have a lot to get off my chest, including this mucus. Gotta get my tea. Better. Let's rewind. Simon, the founder of Hypixel, said this in a tweet. During my time working on Hytale in 2016 to 2019, it was maybe to the absolute maximum 2 years away from a PC release with the legacy engine and vision. Let that sink in for a moment, okay? Let that sink in. Back in 2019, we were at most 2 years away from release. The legacy engine was working. The gameplay systems were there. The team had momentum. They were there. There were old client builds, videos, screenshots. It was real. Okay, now we move over to Slikey. Okay, I think that's how you pronounce it. He was one of the developers on Hytale. Okay? He described a totally different world, right? No meetings, no red tape, raw communication through TeamSpeak, Slack, and GitHub. Just devs building cool stuff at insane speed, and the engine by a bunch of inexperienced Minecraft server devs who were just passionate and scrappy, but it worked. It was truly agile and fast-paced environment of progress. There was a very strong culture of just doing things. Guys, they were shipping features, building systems that, according to Slikey, were already far ahead of Minecraft back then. But then Riot came in.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
Systems that were already far ahead of Minecraft were completely reinvented to make them even better, in quotation marks, right? Resulting in, well, let's call it what it is. It's feature creep. That's what's going on. And Slikey straight up said he wants to smash his face into a table when people deny that that's what happened. Because it is, right? At one point, Hytale had finished world gen tools, a solid core gameplay loop, working multiplayer, modding API in progress, but it all got nuked. Why? To chase a bigger dream, to go cross-platform, to turn Hytale into Minecraft 2.0 meets Fortnite meets Skyrim meets Animal Crossing on mobile, and in the end, they didn't ship anything. So here's what I'm asking. Riot, Hypixel, whoever has this thing on a hard drive somewhere, give us the legacy build. We don't need the polished version. We don't care if it runs on a phone. We don't need a 10-year roadmap and a AAA polish. Just give us the game you already made. The one that was almost done. The one that people fell in love with from that 2018 trailer. The one that still lives in our heads rent-free. That's the game we bought into. That's the game for the last 7 years. It's been at the top of my most anticipated games list. I've invested my time and energy into this game for the last 7 years. Okay? And if you're wondering, would that even work? Dropping the legacy build? Let me tell you about a game called Wayfinder. Okay, Wayfinder was supposed to be a dungeon crawling MMO made by Airship Syndicate. I was hooked on the game. I was bought in. I was a founder. I was a Wayfounder, is what they called it. I was really hooked on it. Ever since the announcement all the way up to launch, they partnered with Digital Extremes, and everything was going really well. But on launch, things were a little rocky. They didn't perform very well, and the player numbers weren't there, and Digital Extremes had to back out. And for a while, they tried it on their own, but they just couldn't do it, and they had a decision to make. Do we just scrap the game? Like, we can't support the game anymore, so what do we do? But they knew that the players had invested so much time and in care and passion for this game. So instead of just turning the game off and making it unavailable for everybody forever, they went back into the game and they made it to where you could play it solo or co-op, and you can keep it forever. Like, look, right now, this is me playing Wayfinder right now. The game is dead. It's canceled. They can't work on the game anymore, but I can still play it. They still gave me the game. That's how you handle this situation. Right? I still have the baby. They threw out the bathwater and gave us the baby. Okay, that's not what happened with Hytale. And here's the craziest part, right? If Riot or whoever released that legacy build, you know the community would take it and run. You don't even have to finish it. Just give us what you have, and the modding community will handle the rest. We've got dev blogs, we've got concept art, system breakdowns, design posts, blog posts. I guarantee you the modding community is on it. They will patch it, they will build content, they will try to build it up to what the game was supposed to be. This is one of the most dedicated communities for a game I've ever seen. I promise you they would take that baby, if you will. This analogy is starting to get weird to me, but it's fine. I'm going to stick with it. If you were to just give us the baby, we would raise it. We would turn it into a big, strong man. Guys, I probably should have picked a better analogy for this. This is kind of getting weird. But you know what I'm trying to say, right? We would have taken good care of this game if you would have just given us the legacy build. Like, we don't need this fancy new engine. Give us what we've already been invested in for the last 7 years. And guys, there is actually still a little bit of hope for this to happen. If you look at the blog post of when they canceled the game, they do say, even though we won't be the ones to bring this game into the world, we still believe in what it stood for and in the incredible potential of this game. Keyword, we won't be the ones to bring this game into the world. That doesn't mean no one can, and that no one will. So there's at least that going for us. Look, I don't hate Hypixel. I don't even hate Riot, right? I don't like to hate people. I don't like to be bitter about people. I don't like to burn bridges, you know? That's just how I am. I just think that this whole situation was badly and horribly mishandled. And I think the only way to honor this project is to find a way to make it live again. Even if it's broken, even if it's messy, even if it's in its indie state, because that's the legacy version. That's the real Hytale. That's the Hytale we've all bought into. Okay. I feel better now. I think I feel a little bit better now. Yeah, I feel good. My throat still hurts, but I feel better. If you want a little bit more information on this, Quebec Corner did make a video about this as well, and it is very good. It goes into a lot more detail on exactly what the dev said. So if you're more curious about the nitty-gritty, as Nacho Libre would say, if you're more interested in the nitty-gritty, I would take a look at that video. He did a great job on that. And as for this channel, we're not done. All right, we're locking in. Okay? I still plan on keeping this channel, and I hope you join me along for the ride. Okay, if you like fantasy RPG style games, I'm sure you will like the games that I cover, because that's probably the genre, the area that I will thrive in. And yes, I hear you. Yeah, there's a lot of them. Keep going. Yeah, I'll check out Vintage Story. Okay, it's not necessarily that fantasy RPG genre that I like, but you know, it is very akin to Hytale, and there are Hytale devs that are working on the game, and I think that's really cool. And you know, I'm just in the mood to play a game, so why not? Let's jump into that. I'll check it out here pretty soon. Okay, I'll give it the old college try. But I will say, moving forward, expect Everwind for sure will probably be one of the games I cover. And there are a few other ones that are not necessarily in the blocky world, but do still capture that fantasy RPG, almost Zelda-like style game. That's kind of my jam. So if that resonates with you, you'll probably like where the future of this channel is going. But anyway, I want to hear from you guys. What do you think about them releasing the legacy version? Are you totally fine with them just giving you the game that we've already invested in? Or are you like, nah, new engine or dead? Because I think that's kind of ridiculous, honestly. That's crazy. Come on. We need the game. Somebody, whoever has it, just release the game. And you know, there is a good point too. When things like this happen, it's not totally unthinkable that one of the other developers who may have a build of it on their computer may just boop, whoops, and now we have Hytale, right? And then the modding community grabs it, snags it up, and finishes the game, right? You know, never say never, okay? Never say never. So the future of Hytale is just a giant question mark. Do I think that there's absolutely zero hope we'll ever see anything again? No, I don't. I think there is a slim possibility. I'm not getting my hopes up. Because I did that for 7 years and look where that got me. Ouch. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate all of you. I will see you in the next one. God bless you, and thanks for watching. Peace out.